Hi Capricorn, it's Power and Light Tarot coming at you with a reading. Today we have a tarot reading, we sure do. And we hope you guys are well. And Capricorn, this is going to be for your Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. And honestly, anybody who has a Capricorn rulership of their chart. Yeah, and that doesn't even have to be your, I'm not talking about your ascendant, which is, is usually your chart ruler. You also have another chart ruler, uh, many of you that can be in Capricorn, but you'd have to see your chart, right? And what that means really is that Saturn is in its own sign. That's usually what makes for you, Capricorn, Saturn in its own sign in your own natal chart. That will resonate, it can, with this reading. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying, right? Let's get into it. And I also have a Capricorn rulership of my chart. Yeah, divine masculine showing up. We have release. Okay, there's some type of a release. There's a giant knife here. But the divine masculine is, it's really about kind of creating something. So somebody wants to create something once they release something, or they're releasing something so they can, right? If you guys want a psychic reading with me, check out my website. It is below in the description box. I'm still doing those, of course. I have all kinds of other great readings on my website. Yeah, I have tarot reading there as well. Let's see what else we have here. The Strength card and a Sad Embrace. Okay. And we have the Deep Freeze. So before we talk about those cards, though, God, I forgot what I was going to say here. Never, I'll come back to it, Capricorn. But the Strength card, the Sad Embrace card, and the Deep Freeze card, somebody has the courage here, and that's part of this divine masculine in your reading, Capricorn. You could be releasing something, and maybe you felt a little bit sad about it, but honestly, it is. It looks like it's for something better. Yeah, and maybe you've been thinking about it a long time. The Deep Freeze card, you may have, right? Because here is the lion, and he's actually, he's not really a hibernator, but they're kind of showing him that way, right? They're trying to make a point here. So yeah, there's something that you have the courage to do here, um, and there could be a little bit of sadness with it, like maybe you're kind of saying goodbye to something, but it's for the best, all right? And this could be about somebody else too, who's romantically, uh, doesn't always have to be romantic, but somebody who's kind of tied to you in some kind of way. And it doesn't have to be physical either. No, it can be, psychological, or they could be at a distance or whatever. And the Taurus new moon will be in your fifth house. I have that video, which will be released in the next week, but that is on May 16th. But the Taurus new moon is about planting new seeds, and that is a hopeful time, new ideas, and potentially, a transition. But it's in your fifth house, Capricorn, and the fifth house of is authenticity. This is where you live from the heart. So when we see this, something you're living from the heart here, it can be about your creative pursuits. That's also the fifth house. It can be about your self-expression, where you're just being really who you are, or somebody else is, you see? Yeah, and that is a romantic house of love and sex, and it's also a house of children. So, yeah. So, let's get right into it, and let's see what these cards have to say for you, Capricorn. Yeah. Overall, this is it's a positive reading. Yeah, you can tell here. All right. You're releasing something, maybe something that made you sad. That could be the case here too. You're like, I'm out of here, right? Yeah. All right, let's see what we got. If you guys want to see my astrology videos, check out the description box below, and I have the link there. All right, let's see what we have. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles. So Taurus is about money. So the new moon is about money. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I may have. But the Taurus new moon is about money, our values, material comfort, and you could be trying to create that here for yourself, Capricorn, with the Taurus new moon. You sure could. And that, I can speak of a new beginning. It can. Or your focus is on that. Your focus is on this new beginning in material gain, right? The Pentacle. Ace of Pentacles can really speak to the Taurus new moon. And, okay. Queen of Wands in the reading. Two of Cups. It's romantic. Yeah, it definitely is. See, that's your fifth house. The new moon is in your fifth house of romance. Yeah, romantic love and um yeah, Queen of Cups is here. Maybe there's a water sign, but it's just Queen of Cups is associated with love. It sure is, right? Um, and our intuition. And so, the Hierophant is here, which can be, it can be some type of a learning here about something, like kind of, because he's seen as a mentor or a teacher sometimes, and they're listening to his word of scripture, right? I mean, but maybe your concern is with religion. That's a possibility, right? But this is usually learning something, and the Hierophant is also, about foundation. Yeah, it is. And it is a Taurus card as well. And Taurus is concerned with foundation and well being, right? That type of. So, maybe this is your concern. Yeah. Something that is a little solid. Yeah, the Hierophant can speak to something that is a little bit solid. It can speak to maybe you have the keys to something. You want, like you're releasing something because you have the keys to something. Here are the keys at the bottom, and the Tower is in the psyche here or in the environment, right? The Tower means something. Something in this reading, it looks like something just has to come down and it's over, right? Because of the release. We have the Ace of Swords sitting in the crossing energy, and we start the reading with the moon. So the moon is emotional. The moon is sometimes in the dark. Yes, it can clarify or illuminate, especially with full moons. That's a major illumination. It is, but or it can definitely be, right. So can the new moon, but the full moon is, big time for that. And we see the full moon here, but there's some type of something that you didn't maybe kind of understand. That could be the deep freeze or somebody else initially. You understand now the divine masculine and a release, right? Now, and it is emotional because we have the Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups in the reading. The Ace of Swords is a crossing energy, and this man over here is releasing something. So we already know you're doing that. This is the Eight of Swords. He's releasing. And he, this woman could have done it a long time ago. So there could be, because she could do it by herself, right? So, I mean, it can be sometimes a victim mentality, but it does not necessarily, right? So, this is like a final release, and the Ace of Swords sits in the crossing energy. So, like the focus here is some type of major clarity or a new beginning. Yeah, a new beginning. The Ace of Swords can be a new beginning. Wow. Yeah. Now, and this was kind of a challenge, either the clarity or I feel like it's the clarity as well because the moon's over here, like in the dark, and these, creating some havoc here because, like a crisis, because there is this unknown. The moon can be about the unknown. Remember, the moon is about our dreams. And, sometimes we have dreams. We go, what is that? What did that mean? Right. But, I mean, if you get a dream journal and you write in it, you will eventually understand your dreams at a better, practicing, right? Definitely. Now, the Three of Pentacles is here. There's a collaboration that is wanted, and the Queen of Wands is next to it. So there's something very inspirational. You either want to create something, or somebody may want to collaborate with you. The Queen of Wands is about something of higher purpose or something that is like enthusiastic. And in the near future, we have the Two of Cups, Capricorn. So this is about love, most likely. All right, they're embracing. Maybe this is, you could be making up with somebody. It looks like it's kind of a truce here, the way he's hugging her so tightly in this deck, in this card. The Tower sits in the environment. We'll get a card, we'll get a clarifier on it. Let's get these little cards here, little itty bitty cards with a lot of punch. And we have the Five of Swords with it. Something gets like kind of not only released but like conquered, like it's kind of, so he's taken their swords. There's chaos here, some type of chaos, or there was, but he's the winner here, and but there's something with the sad embrace and the five of swords. The five of swords is releasing something that is like he's taken their swords, and but he hasn't really won the war. He's won the battle. So what that means is that the sad embrace is that there's a winning here, but there's walking away or releasing something that was sad. The hangman is here. That can be a release. It represents Pisces, which is, the 12th house of uh, endings and release, right? And he's up there trying to understand himself at a very intuitive level, is what he's doing. That's why he has a halo. So he's sacrificing himself here for really to understand something or to end something, right? So she's helping him. She's, bringing water, and it is showing his sacrifice here. Yeah, and there is some type of sacrifice here. There really is. Yeah, wow. And we have the Queen of Cups, and here she is. We'll get a clarifier for her. And the Queen of Cups always looks very sweet. Yes, she does. A little angelic. Let's see what we get a card on her. And we have the Devil, and the Devil is here. Now it's they're showing these naked people on this card, right? And they're in bondage here by the Devil, but that gets released. There was some type of bondage here, and it could have been this Hierophant in the concern, because the Hierophant can be about kind of control here, because it is the church. I'm not down on anybody's church. Trust me, grew up in the church. But there's a little bit of control there could be here, because the Hierophant, he's telling them what to do here. He's got the Bible there, and he's like preaching to them, saying, my word is, what God wants, and like that. So this can be like I haven't done tarot in a little while, right? But this Hierophant can be like can represent like the 10th house um of like leaders and authority figures. That's what he is. He's an authority figure. There you go. So even though he really represents Taurus, but values, and but somebody could have had these values here that were kind of, they outgrew those values. They go, I don't believe in that anymore. And that's what the Hierophant is, your faith, what you believe in. So somebody was believing in something they no longer believe in, or they don't align with it, or right. It's like they're like, no, I don't want that anymore for my life. I need something new here. Yeah, and that's what, wow, this Taurus new moon could be really associated with that. So I'm going to end this reading, Capricorn. Thanks so much. If you want a tarot reading with me, any type of a reading, go to my website, please. It is below. If you want to see my astrology readings, you can go to my website, which is listed as well. Mystic Sense has a free 5-minute psychic reading for you. If you want to check that out, that is, that's not, I'm not a, that's there over there with them. And yeah, that's below too. Thanks so much, Capricorn, and we'll see you in the next one.